So Stuart, a disappointing afternoon today. I think we stood here last week and we're talking about a 4-0 result that didn't really feel like 4-0. Today it kind of maybe feels more realistic at 3-0. Your views?
3-0 probably flattered us, if I'm going to be brutally honest. So, a very disappointing afternoon from my point of view. So I'll look at when we're getting that's 7 goals in 2 games. So you don't need to be a genius to work out that things are not going right at the moment, and need to try and find solve the problem as such. But no excuses today. Cove have been struggling. They've been a bit unlucky in some games and maybe going to get some, but ultimately they're coming here without a win and they've went away comfortable winners 3-0. So from our point of view, really disappointing for the fans. People paying good money to come watch us and to serve that up for them a day is it's not acceptable, and something that we'll speak to the group about. I look at myself first and foremost because you've got to decide, did you pick the right team, did you pick the right system? But obviously hindsight's a great thing, and I'm not going to stand here and lie, we didn't, because we're well beaten from a hungry Cove side. We were first to second balls, front two carried the threat the whole afternoon, and they had numerous chances through it. Paul will be delighted because I thought his team were excellent, but I can look at my team and say that's not good enough. It's not a Montrose team that I'm used to seeing, especially at Links Park, that's for sure. So a lot of thinking to do over the weekend, Brian, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean the wind played a bit of a factor at first half, in as much as it was quite strong, but we were playing with the wind. Did you feel we didn't maybe make the most of that, because Cove did seem to find it easier in the second half to kind of have possession in our half as opposed to what we were doing in the first half?
I think you could say the wind's got a factor, but ultimately they made better chances in the first half than we did. I don't think their keeper saves. They have a few blocks in and around the box, and we've got in good areas, but again we're decision making in the final third, or that final ball wasn't good enough, and again we didn't work their keeper nearly enough as I would expect us to work a keeper when we've got the wind. And we were hoping we'd get the wind so we could get after it, but it certainly didn't materialise that way. So a thoroughly disappointing afternoon, and we've not had a lot of these in recent times, but this is certainly one of them that's up there, because it was comfortable an away win will be for a team, and that was it this afternoon.
Yeah. During the week there, we were forced into a bit of a movement in the transfer window, or not transfer window, but with a temporary transfer for a goalkeeper because of Cammy. Do you want to just kind of fill us in on that situation?
Yeah, he's been struggling a bit the last few weeks and playing through an injury to his foot, but it's just got to the stage where it's been too sore. So it's been scanned, so we're just waiting a specialist appointment to see if he needs an operation on it or not. But if not, he'll certainly be, I think at best case scenario, 5-6 weeks from now. So delighted Dundee to help us out with Harry coming in. Obviously his first game, hopefully his next game's a bit better than that, but delighted that could get the keeper of his experience and ability in. So thanks to Dundee for doing that. So we'll just have to see how long. I know it's only a week at a time, so it just depends on how Dundee are with goalkeepers, but we'll hopefully have Harry for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, and trying to, I guess, pick some bright points or positives out of today. I thought young Gus in the middle of the park had a really decent game. Yeah,
I think he took time to settle in the game. I thought first 15-20 minutes he was struggled a little bit, but his second half performance was excellent. You're expecting that from more senior players to go and get the ball and try and make something happen. He tried to do that for the whole 45 of the second half. So really pleased for him, because he's been waiting a while to get a start. He would have started last week, but he picked up an injury training with Hearts, so that was unfortunate for him. But we'll see now. He'll probably get a run of games, and let's see if maybe Gus can be the one that sparks us into that final third and brings that little bit of quality we're certainly looking for.
Yeah. So looking ahead, obviously next Saturday, a long trip up to to Inverness. Again, there isn't an easy game in this league, but coming off the back of 2 quite heavy home defeats, it's maybe not the fixture that you'd be expecting or hoping for.
Any time you're going to go to Inverness, it's going to be tough. We're not getting kidded on. Them and Hamilton are strong favourites to be at the top of the league. They've got the best squads, they've got the best players, so it's certainly not a fixture that you would choose on the back of 2 heavy home defeats. But it might be one of them ones where it's it's kind of a free hit. Nobody's going to expect Montrose to get anything out of the game next week. So, but it's now up to us to get the boys back in and get working really hard this week because we need to get back to being difficult to beat. And 7 goals in 2 games isn't difficult to beat. So we need to look at that first and foremost, get a foundation that we can stay in games when we're not doing well. Don't keep crosses coming in the box, keep saying about crosses coming in the box, allow too many balls to come in the box. So we'll look at that this week. They're a great bunch, they'll be hurting as much as we are, as supporters and directors are. It's not nice. Losing 7 goals in 2 games at home, it's something that I'm not used to as a manager, so I'll go home and I'll certainly assess myself over the last 2 weeks as I always do, and see where I can improve, and then we'll get back in on Tuesday. We'll train Tuesday as a game for the 19th, so some of the guys will play in the game on Tuesday just to see if we can get that spark and get a bit of confidence back in them. And it's not easy going to Inverness, we know that, but ultimately it's I said last week that our games are not defined on Hamilton and Inverness games, but like I said, that game today is, so that's why it's a major disappointment this afternoon.
Thanks,
Cheers, Brian.